If you think you know Monsanto, the biochemical company that has become synonymous with genetically modified monoculture and toxic herbicides, think again. For decades, Monsanto has been at the center of numerous environmental and health controversies. From the production of toxic chemicals to genetically modified organisms, GMOs. For example, the United States is the world's leading soybean producer and the second leading exporter after Brazil. However, it is worth noting that 94% of all U.S. soybeans are genetically modified. This means GMOs are all over the world. And consequently, they are hand in hand with toxic, cancer, and allergic reactions, leading to endless lawsuits. In today's video, we'll take a closer look at the company that started it all, Monsanto. Taking a look back, Monsanto was founded in 1901 in St. Louis, Missouri, as a chemical company by John Francis Queeny. Queeny, who was born in Chicago, attended school for 6 years before deciding to drop out at the age of 13 and seek full-time employment. His first job was at Tolman and King, where he earned only $2.50 per week. And in 1891, he relocated to St. Louis to work as an agent of the Meyer Brothers Drug Company, the largest drug company at the time. Over the years, Queeny gained a lot of experience in the chemical industry, which led him to start his own company 2 years later. Without hesitation, he named the company after his darling wife, Olga Monsanto, which even forced Olga's father to fund the first steps of the corporation. The company's first product was not a chemical or agricultural product, but rather an artificial sweetener called saccharin. Over the next few years, the company quickly began turning a profit. Monsanto's major customer at the time was really the Coca-Cola Company. With the Coca-Cola Company as one of Monsanto's main customers, sales hit $1 million in 1915. This time, Queeny felt confident enough about his firm's future to leave his part-time job with another drug house to work full-time as Monsanto's president. However, during World War II, the company faced a major problem that posed a threat to its survival. During World War II, Monsanto encountered a critical obstacle as the conflict disrupted its ability to import essential raw materials from Europe. Imagine a world at war, where supply chains crumble and trade routes are cut off. Well, that's exactly what happened to Monsanto in World War II. The war effort diverted resources towards military needs, making it increasingly difficult for Monsanto to procure the necessary materials for its operations. Monsanto's dependence on external sources left them exposed and vulnerable. But little did they know, their greatest breakthrough was just around the corner. This is when Queeny quickly got an important idea. He decided to focus on research and development to find alternative sources of raw materials. So the company quickly started making its own raw materials and partnering with other companies and government agencies to secure necessary materials. This was a major turning point for the company, as they quickly expanded its product range to feature some industrial chemicals, and eventually, Monsanto's chemical expertise and production capacity were in high demand, making the company the U.S. military's top supplier of chemicals at the time. One of their significant contributions to the war was the production of a chemical called styrene. They used styrene to make synthetic rubber for military vehicles, tires, and other military equipment. By the end of the war, Monsanto was the largest producer of chemicals in the world. In the year 1944, Monsanto unleashed an innovation that promised to revolutionize pest control. Known as DDT, this potent pesticide became a symbol of humanity's triumph over nature's tiny adversaries. Farmers and consumers alike embraced its effectiveness in combating insects and safeguarding crops. However, as time passed, concerns started to surface. The true cost of DDT's power began to unveil itself. Its extreme toxicity posed a threat not only to insects, but also to ecosystems and the delicate balance of our planet's biodiversity. But their new product, Agent Orange, would be more controversial. Agent Orange contained a highly toxic chemical called dioxin, which was used during the Vietnam War to clear dense vegetation in the jungles of Vietnam. Agent Orange, a product that promised to be a game changer, became a symbol of tragedy instead. This creation by Monsanto carried unforeseen consequences that would reverberate for decades. It has been linked to a range of health problems, including cancer, birth defects, and other chronic illnesses. Dioxin, the sinister component hidden within Agent Orange, emerged as a silent destroyer. Its horrifying effects left a trail of suffering and anguish among both the Vietnamese people and the US veterans who were exposed to it. The true extent of this chemical's impact was far more insidious than anyone could have imagined. Consequently, Monsanto and the other companies involved in the production of Agent Orange were sued by victims and their families. In 1984, the reckoning arrived for Monsanto as they reached a settlement with the plaintiffs for a staggering $180 million. This financial blow, however, was only the beginning of the uphill battle Monsanto faced. The astronomical costs of the Agent Orange lawsuits threatened the very foundation of the company, forcing them to confront the consequences of their actions. The fallout from the Agent Orange controversy tarnished Monsanto's reputation in ways they never anticipated. Their image as a responsible environmental steward and a company with strong social ethics crumbled under the weight of public scrutiny. This time, the company began producing PCBs for use as insulating fluids in electrical equipment. Although PCBs were highly valued for their thermal stability, fire resistance, and electrical insulating properties, studies showed that PCBs were highly toxic and persistent in the environment. They were found to be accumulating in the food chain, particularly in fish and other seafood. In response to these concerns, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, banned the production of PCBs in the U.S., and even many other countries followed suit. The controversy over PCBs has also led to questions about Monsanto's responsibility for the environmental and health impacts of its past activities. After facing several lawsuits and bans on its best products, it was time for changes. The company shifted its focus towards agricultural biotechnology, and effectively Monsanto scientists were among the first to genetically modify a plant cell, publishing their results in 1983. This was something new at the time, giving the company a crucial advantage in the new agriculture world of GMOs. When GMOs were first introduced by Monsanto in the 1990s, farmers quickly switched to using them because of the promise of higher yields. The genetic modifications made to the crops made them more resistant to pests, diseases, and environmental stressors, allowing farmers to produce more food with less land and fewer resources. This, in turn, increased profits for farmers and helped to meet the growing demand for food worldwide. Monsanto also offered a competitive advantage. Farmers who switched to using GMOs had a significant advantage over those who did not. They could produce more food at a lower cost, making their products more affordable and appealing to consumers. This meant that farmers who did not switch to GMOs were at risk of losing their market share and eventually going out of business. However, people started to worry about the impact of GMOs on the environment and human health. Critics argue that Monsanto has taken GMOs too far. There was opposition to its promotion of genetically modified organisms, and the company was involved with chemicals that were alleged to cause health issues. In the 2010s, numerous lawsuits were filed claiming that its weed killer Roundup, which contained glyphosate, caused cancer. These several legal battles weakened the company hard. And this time, it was finally Monsato's time to